All right, I'd like to start the meeting. Fargo Planning Commission agenda for Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. There will be no brown bag held on January 20th this month. The following items are continued to February 2nd, and that's item number 1, the proposed growth amendment in Section 5, Township 138 North, Range 49 and West, and also item 2, the proposed text amendment to the Land Development Code. There'll be no presentations by staff on these items, and no action will be taken by this commission. Does there happen to be anybody on the call today that was going to testify on those items? I don't see anybody. All right, we'll move on to, I need a motion to approve the order of agenda.
So moved.
I've got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Or say aye, not hi.
Aye.
Raise your hand.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Okay. Anybody opposed? All right, motion carries. I need a motion on the minutes of the December 1st meeting.
Move to approve, Shirling.
Move to approve. Is there a second?
Second, Dawn.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Hey, we got Scott Stoffer on live today. How you doing, Scott? All right. Moving on to item number 3. A hearing on the application requesting a conditional use permit to allow an alternative access plan for parking reduction on lots 1 and 2, Block 1, Elam 2nd Edition. Maggie, take it away.
Good afternoon and thank you. Item 3 on your agenda is titled Elam 2nd Edition. The subject property is located at 3534 and 3540 University Drive South. As you'll see in the aerial, this is University, 35th Avenue. This is a photo of the site if you're standing on University looking east. The owner, Elam Homes, Inc., and applicant Pope Architects, represented today by Dan Weatherman and Andrew Santani, who are joining us virtually. They are seeking a conditional use permit for an alternative access plan in order to reduce the number of parking stalls required on site. The owner, Elam Homes, Inc., intends to reconstruct a nursing home that suffered fire damage at the beginning of 2020. Prior to the fire, the campus provided parking for a total of 184 residential units and support staff. The new facility will provide fewer beds than previously existed and require less staff, leading to a 20% reduction in the number of residents and support staff across campus. At the same time, the applicant is proposing to reduce the existing parking by only 4%. Today, the applicant is proposing that 164 parking stalls will meet the needs of the nursing home and senior assisted living facility. Our engineering department determined that the request will meet the facility's needs based on the information provided by the applicant. In accordance with the LDC, notices were sent out to property owners within 300 feet of the subject property, and to date, staff received 2 inquiries and no opposition to the request. Staff finds that all criteria have been met and are recommending approval with the conditions listed on your screen. I'd be happy to answer any questions, as well as Dan Weatherman and Andrew Santani are available from the project team.
Okay, commissioners, any questions for Maggie? See no questions for Maggie? I invite the applicant to speak, if you would wish.
Yeah, my name is Andrew Santani. Members of the chamber, I appreciate the time to take a look at the project. We're really excited to get back underway and bring the care center back to active status, and excited the opportunity to bring a state-of-the-art facility as well. So looking forward to getting that underway here in the spring, and appreciate your review of the matter at hand.
Andrew, just one question out of curiosity. Is the building being, parts of it being saved, or is it, what's happening with it?
Yeah, so the plan is to actually tear down the old facility. There's you may remember we had done an addition remodel back in 2012. So there's a small TCU on the southeast corner of the care center property that will stay. It's about 9,000 square feet, but the rest of it will come down and be replaced with a new facility.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Andrew? All right, seeing none, I open for public comment. Is there anybody from the public wish to speak for or against this project? Seeing none, I close the public comment. Any additional discussion, commissioners, or are you ready to act?
I'd like
Mr.
to make,
Chairman, I move to approve.
Okay, I have a motion from Scott. Is there a second?
second,
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Stockton,
Aye.
Holtz, Jennifer Holtz,
Aye.
Sherling,
Yes.
Tassa,
aye.
Morgan,
Aye.
Gunkelman.
Aye, motion carries. All right, moving on to item 4. A hearing on an application requesting a plat of South Haven Second Edition. Donald.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Donald Kress, the Department of Planning and Development. I'll be presenting the next 3 items. Item 4, as Commissioner Gunkelman has stated, is South Haven Second Edition. Just to locate that, here's 64th Avenue South, 25th Street South. Davies is a little off the map to the south here. It's these lots here. Commissioners, if this looks a little familiar to you, earlier this summer, I believe the July Planning Commission, we had a zone change for some of these lots, again from Mr. Ryland. These lots were platted back in the 1960s and are getting some adjustment. As you see here, these lots are zoned to SR3 and these lots are zoned to SR2. Mr. Ryland, the applicant who's with us on the call here this afternoon, told us he would be back to replat these, and here he is. This was pictures taken a few days ago on a cold and snowy New Year's Eve day. Just looking down 64th Avenue here. Here we're, that's 25th Street out there. Just looking along the street there. As you see, it's paved. This is just looking the other way. And here's the plat. So all this really does is rearrange the lot lines of some of these lots here. So you'll see here there's 3 pairs of lots, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 here, with an access, an easement, a common easement, an access and utility easement between the pairs. These are the SR3 zoned lots, and I believe Mr. Island intends to build 3 attached residences on each of those lots. And then these lots over here are just going to remain the SR2 lots. Those would be detached single-family dwellings only. And then there is a dedication for 25th Street out here that is required as for future development of 25th Street. So this is just a plat. There is no zone change. The zone change has been taken care of earlier. The applicant, again, Stan Ryland, as well as the engineer, Mike Love of Houston Engineering, are with us on the call today. Staff's recommendation is stated in the staff report and shown on your screen. The recommendation is for approval. That concludes staff's presentation. Thank you, Commissioners.
All right. Commissioners, any questions for Donald regarding this matter? I invite the applicant to speak. Stan, do you want to say anything?
Well, I don't really have much of anything to say. I guess it's pretty straightforward. I kind of inherited these lots when we bought the piece of land out here, and they were 100-foot lots, 100 feet wide by 200 feet deep. And so it was just a matter of revamping the lines so that we could go ahead with development the way we wanted to.
Gotcha. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Ryland? Hearing none, I'll open the meeting for public comment. Anyone from the public wish to speak for or against this?
Commissioner Gunkelman, staff did not
Yes.
receive any comment or responses to our letters that we sent out either. So
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll close the public comment. Any additional discussion, commissioners, or are we ready to act?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
This is Jennifer Holtz. I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion, commissioners? All right, roll call vote, please.
Sherling,
Yes.
Stoffren,
Aye.
Holtz,
Aye.
Tassa,
Aye.
Morgan,
Yes.
Gunkelman.
Aye, motion carries. All right, moving on to item 6A, a hearing on an application requesting a zoning change from AG agricultural to SR4 single dwelling residential and PI public and institutional with a conditional overlay. Donald?
you're looking at 5A. I believe, sir, it's 5A.
Pardon me, I read the wrong one, didn't I?
Okay.
I jumped
Yeah,
back to 5A, thank you.
5A. Yes, sir.
I crossed it out. A hearing on the application requesting a zoning change from agricultural to PI, public and institutional with boundaries on the proposed Covey Ranch First Edition.
Thank you, Commissioner. Again, this is to locate this property. Here's 52nd Avenue and I-29. Here's our landmark Walmart up here. This property is located down here. This is 64th Avenue South, which will shortly be developed here. This property is currently in the extraterritorial jurisdiction, but is part of a pending annexation that will be going forward shortly, which includes adjacent properties as well. So we can start on this. This property is zoned agricultural. This property is intended to be the location for the North Dakota State College of Science Career Workforce Academy. So that is why its location is out here, and that is what the PI zoning is for. Public institutional is the appropriate zoning for a government-owned educational facility, and that is allowed in the land use designation for this property as well. This is, believe it or not, this is 64th Avenue South from the intersection of 45th Street. It doesn't look like a lot right now, but the subject property is about out here. These are the townhomes, Mr. Enos, I believe these are your townhomes out here. So that's the little part that comes down there. And so that's what that looked like a couple of weeks ago. Here's the plat, again, a fairly straightforward 15-acre plat here with dedication for 43rd Street in the future, as well as access over here. And again, this would be is included in a larger annexation, and so then this would go forward with along with that annexation when that would be approved. This would be developed. Again, I believe Steve Iverson from the Moore Engineering is the project representative. If Steve's on the call here today, staff did not receive. We did receive one question from a nearby landowner, and we responded to that landowner who was satisfied with their response. Just wanted to know what was going on there. And so we've had no other opposition or comment from the public on that. Staff's recommendation is stated in your staff report and shown on the screen. And again, Mr. Iverson from Moore Engineering, I believe, is on the call. That concludes staff's presentation. Thank you, Commissioners.
All right. Commissioners, any question for Donald on this? Hearing none, I invite the applicant to speak.
Oh, I see Don Dabbert is representing the project here.
Don, did you want to say anything on this? All right, I'll open up the public for public comment. Anybody from the public wish to speak for or against this? Hearing none, I'll close the public comment. All right, Commissioners, any further discussion on this? Or are you ready to act?
Mr. Chair, this is Shirling. I will move to approve the suggested motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
This is Scott. I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Stoffren,
Aye.
Tassa,
Aye.
Morgan,
Aye.
Holtz,
Aye.
Shirling,
Yes.
Gunkelman.
Aye, motion carries. Now, moving on to item 6A. A hearing on an application requesting a zoning change from agricultural, SR4 single dwelling residential, and PI public institutional with a conditional overlay. Donald.
Yes, sir. This is Golden Valley 5th Edition. We have the applicant, John Eunice, and Ian Bullis here with us from Eagle Ridge Development. They're here live with us today. Again, to locate this property, Commissioners, you're probably familiar with the numerous Golden Valley additions that have come to us in the past few years. This is Golden Valley 5th Edition. Golden Valley 5th Edition fills in this area here and also replats some of these lots. And despite the lengthy legal, that's the area what we're looking at here. Here's the zoning on it. Here's the ag zoning. Here's the SR4 zoning. As Commissioner Gunkelman referred to, there are two PI zoned lots with a conditional overlay. These were created in earlier Golden Valley plats. They were going to be HOA, that is Homeowners Association owned parks. And Mr. Eunice can tell us what the decision was to not go forward with those, but those are just being platted into residential lots, as you'll see in a moment here. So that's where that the extinction of the conditional overlay along with the entire zoning will take place. The plat here, these are the existing lots with the dashed lines. These are the proposed lots. You'll see that backing up to the existing lots, they're the same width and just about the same area. Here, some larger lots over here. This is Drain 53, so they're up against the lots that border Drain 53, the government-owned lots that border Lane 53 or Drain 53. These are the SR4 zoned lots here. Currently, they end where that dashed line is. Now they're just being extended all the way over here to make some larger lots. And then this is a vacation of 59th Avenue South. There is actually nothing there right now. There is no actual road. This is just really being vacated and relocated a little bit to the north. So this city has no objection to that relocation. and then that'll come with a 70-foot width here around to connect to Golden Valley Parkway and make a continuous street there. Here are some shots of that location. This is from the stub street here of Golden Valley Parkway, looking back at 25th. And then this here is on 26th Street in Golden Valley, or Golden Lane South. That's about where 69th is going to go through up there. So another snowy day there in January or December. Staff's recommendation is stated on the staff report and shown on the screen. It is for approval of the zone change. So the resulting zone change, just to be clear here, is these lots will be SR2, which matches the zoning here and here. These lots will be SR4, which is their current zoning. They're just getting a little bigger. We did have one contact from a resident in this area who was wondering about the nature of the development. We did provide her with the plat and some additional information. We heard from her this morning that they had no objection to that proposal. I believe Mr. Eunice has also had some contact with neighbors he might talk to you about. So again, staff's recommendation there for approval of both the zone change and the plat of Golden Valley 5th Edition. That concludes staff's presentation. Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Donald on this? I invite the applicant to speak. John, if you...
Yes, Commissioners, John Eunice, Eagle Ridge Development. We did proactively reach out to the neighbors, specifically the ones that are immediately adjacent to this property, to make sure that they didn't have any issues. And to date, we haven't had any negative communication with anyone. Everyone seemed to be in support of the larger lots. That's what we're presenting.
All right, any questions for Mr. Eunice? This is gonna making this an easy day today. Seeing no questions, I'll open it for public comment. Anybody from the public wish to speak for or against this? Seeing none, I'll close the public comment. Any additional discussion, commissioners, or are you ready to act?
Morgan, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
We have a motion for approval. Is there a second?
Sherling, second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Schneider,
Aye.
Holtz,
Aye.
Sherling,
Yes.
Morgan,
Aye.
Stoffren,
Aye.
Tassa, Miranda Tassa,
She's on there.
we'll come back to her.
Miranda.
Rosenberg,
Okay.
Aye.
we'll try Miranda again. Or is she gone now? Okay. And Gunkelman.
Aye. Motion.
Aye.
Okay. There, we got her.
Thank you.
Okay. An aye for me. Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners, and Happy New Year.
Yes. Well, we have no further things on the agenda. Just make sure that we started off the year with a short meeting, but we'll see what the next one brings.
10 items
So-
next month.
Oh, 10 items for next month. Okay. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. See
One
nothing?
thing, John.
What's that?
John?
Yes.
Oh, this is Morgan. Yeah, I was just going to ask Donald how does the 2030 plan address urban sprawl?
Do you want to talk about that one, or shall I? I think I'm going to turn that one over to our director there, ma'am.
I think we should probably schedule a time to talk about that offline. And, I don't know if, unless, I go to Commissioner Gunkelman, if you wanted to open this meeting up for discussion. I guess it's up up to you.
Is it a long answer or a short answer?
It's probably a long answer and one that staff's probably not prepared to talk about at length. I guess I'd be asking Commissioner Morgan more clarification on that question. I mean, it addresses sprawl in a number of different ways, and staff could probably give a dissertation on it. So if we could focus the question in a little bit, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I understand that, Nicole. It's a big question, but some of the bigger questions we never get around to talking about because of our cases that we, sometimes at the brown bags we do, but it's a concern of many, and I'm sure you're aware of that. And so I don't know how we could contend with it in the future, but whenever you guys are ready to talk about it, I'd be very interested.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good question. I actually would suggest that, we kind of got out of routine with our brown bags based on the whole pandemic thing. And so that's actually a perfect, brown bag discussion where we can, kind of have a more open-ended discussion and hone in on some questions where staff could do a presentation of some sort. I will say, again, probably 15% of including my time and staff's time is on the pandemic and COVID response and emergency response. So if we could kind of, once we get past the core neighborhood plan and the land development code components that are scheduled for this next month with the city commission, that we, kind of add this to the list of brown bag questions. I think, but